called as get RO property. Get RO property. Get RO property, the full form is get runtime object property. Get runtime object property. What I'll do is I'll go to file and I'll open a new test, or in this shortcut way, the new test. New test is nothing but it's the editor for our code basically. Okay, now the concept which we are discussing is get RO property. Okay, in this, let me just brief you the test case, what exactly it is, and based on that, we'll automate this stuff. In this, the objective is very simple, guys. I need to launch the application. I need to launch an application and basically calculate a EMI. Okay. If you see here, I need to launch this application and enter amount, basically the principal. I enter 10,000, interest, say 12% interest, and repayment number of months, it is say 120 months, something like that, and click on calculate, and we get the output, right? Basically the output is, EMI output is 143.47. Okay, my test case is launch the application, enter the username and all those things, get the output. On day one, we use something called as a QTP feature. Okay, QTP feature of standard output checkpoint to take out this value out. From today onwards, we won't be like insisting more on the QTP feature. We'll be always using the VB script and the other things to generalize the code, and we'll be using that part of the code. Okay, so we'll see the other way of extracting the value. This is the way, whatever we are doing it today, right? Whatever we are going to type now, how to extract the value, that is the way all the projects in the companies, they'll write the code. Okay, whenever anybody reviews the code and all those things, they'll look into something called as get RO property, guys. It is very, very, very important. Okay, get RO property is nothing but what I'll do is, can you see someone like object spy? If you see here, the kind of hat symbol which is available here, just spy it. Okay, what happens is when you spy it, it gives the properties. Basically, it provides the properties. Okay, what are the properties? This is the web edit. This is the object which we are interested. Which property gives me the value 143.47? Can you see which property is going to give me? Till here, all the properties from the class name till HTML ID, it's not there. I'm slowly scrolling across. I'll just see which property is going to give me the value 143 point something, right? So if you see here, there is a property called value, and the value of that is given. The number is given. If you see, what is this object spy? Object spy is nothing but it gives the properties of the object. It's the other way around. Instead of getting totally into the object repository, if you don't want to collect everything into the object repository, but if you want to still see the properties, right? Okay, you can spy this. Object spy is a very powerful tool which we will be using extensively, guys. Okay, so the next session coming Thursday and Friday, we'll be like discussing descriptive programming. In that, object spy is used extensively. Okay, so as of now, just see the things. If you see here, any other property gives that value 143.47. So what can I do is, if I say get RO property of value, I'll get this, my actual output. Okay, so not to get in depth, I am just giving a heads up on this. Okay, let me just start analyzing the thing and start writing the code. Okay, so in this case, what I'm going to do is, my main objective of this test case is enter the username password, take out the output. Okay, I'm not saying where is the expected result and where is the actual result, say pass or fail. That we'll see that on a Thursday session. As of now, I just want to extract the output from the application instead of using the QTP feature as we did on the day one. Okay, we should not be using the day one feature. We'll be using the QTP feature. I mean, basically the coding structure to extract the output. Okay, always we should be dependent on the coding, not on the QTP tool. Okay, QTP tool features. Okay, let me just refresh this. And what do I need to do to write the code for this? First is I'll be using the LOR, resource object repository, add the object. First object is principal. Click on OK. You will be wondering, what is this? I have browser page and I have the web edit. What exactly this web table? This web table and all those things we'll be discussing in detail later, guys. As of now, just think web tables are optional. Okay, we'll not be working on that. Basically, if I click OK, right, web table is not collected. If you see here, web table is not collected. Okay, we'll be working on that in detail, like from Thursday. Okay, again, add objects. Which object I need to add? Add interest. Okay, the third object is number of months. Okay, and the last object is calculate. Okay, how do I start writing the code, guys? First is browser, open braces, dot page, open braces, dot what it is, web edit. Which web edit it is? Which web edit? If you are not aware of, I'm just guessing it might be principal. Okay, this is the one. So what do I need to do is open braces, principal. How do I do that? Set, let me say 10,000. Okay, we are on a same browser, same page. For the next object, we're on a same browser, same page for the entering the interest. So what I'm doing is I've copied that, I'm pasting it here. Okay, so dot, what it is, web edit. What is the next next object is interest, and what is the logical name? It would be interest. Okay, interest dot set. Interest would be, say, assume I guess give 12%. So again, what I'll do is I'll copy paste the hierarchy. I'll copy paste the hierarchy. And what is my standard object? Again, it's a web edit. And the last object is, it says the installment, the logical name, dot set 120 months. So again the hierarchy, what is the last object which we have in this page? It's a web button, dot web button, dot click. Okay, so shall I just execute this and see whether it is working fine or not? It's a simple navigation things, guys. If it's a simple navigation things, nothing great about it. We have collected the object and all the things QTP is only doing. Okay, we are not testing anything here as of now. Okay, so it entered the values. It's the application is giving this value out. My objective now is to take out this output. Okay, and the testing part will be working on Thursday. As of now, my objective is how to take this output. Here comes in my get RO property, guys. Get RO property is nothing but it's called as runtime object property. Runtime object property is whatever the properties available during the runtime. Basically, get RO property is nothing but in simple term, it's the output from the application. Okay, when I say it's output from the application, it's your actual results, guys. It's your actual result. If you are a manual tester, if the test data was given to you like this, 10,000, 12, 120, click on the calculate button. The step says, and your expected result, they would have given it as 143.47. Okay, and your actual result you see here as 143.47. But through the coding, you have to take out the actual result. Okay, that is what we are working on. That is what we are working on. So how exactly to go about? To do that, shall I first reach the object? Shall I first reach the object? So to reach the object, what do I need to do? First, I need to collect that object. Go to resource, object repository, add object, click on that, click on OK. Okay, now how do I write the code for that? How do I reach that object first? Browser dot page dot what it is, the object is called as web edit. It's total. Okay, I reach this object, but I need to take out what? This value out. How do I take that value? How do I take that value? Go to object spy. What do I need to do? Click on this hand symbol. Click on this hand symbol. Reach your object. Reach your object. And which property will give me? I select that object, web edit. Which property is going to give me that value? Basically, the property name is called as value. That is what is giving me the actual result. When I say actual result, output from the application. So what should be the method? Here all these methods were set, click and all those things. Here my objective is, in this application, my actual result is coming out. So what is the method here? It should be, it is not something like set, or it has got nothing to do with the click. So if I want to take the output or the actual result, I need to say dot. It's very important, guys. 99% of the code, whatever you write in the automation field, you will be having get RO property. It's like a bread and butter for you. Okay, you need to say get RO property of what? Of what actually it is? Open quotes, it's value. Get RO property of value. Okay, so you say browser page web edit, you reach there, you took the value out. You need to put that to some variable, right? Basically. Okay, shall I put the value to a variable called as actual result? What I'm going to do is, I'll say actual underscore result equal to. Okay, now what happens is, this line of code gets executed. It's what it does is, first it reaches browser page web edit and get arrow property of value. What exactly that value? It is 143.47. It gets accumulated in this variable. Okay, how do I display it for you? How do I display it for you? What exactly the VB script which we have learned now to display the things? It is message box. Sorry guys. It is message box actual result. Okay, so now if I execute this, what I'll do is I'll refresh it. If I execute this, what should be the message box having? 143.47. 143.47. Let me just execute this. Let me just execute this. Okay, 143.47. As of now, if you see here, I've opened the application and I was doing this activity. How do I launch it, guys? How do I launch it? If you people remember, the launch code is systemutil.run. You'll be wondering, why did I write the systemutil.run at the last instance? Whatever I was doing it here, right? Like writing the code and executing, that's called as a dry run, guys. Before you submit your code to your team lead for a code review on a daily basis, right? You'll do a dry run and then only submit your code to him. Okay, then he will review the code and give the comments. Okay, finally it will be freezed. Your code will be freezed. Okay, I explore iexplore.exe. Let me just refresh this and take out the URL. Okay, shall I close the browser? Shall I close the browser here and execute the code now? Okay, click on run. Okay, 143.47. You'll be wondering, the next question you'll be wondering, okay, I see something called as actual result. It seems to be you are saying that it's as a variable. But the languages which I learned or seen earlier, they give some kind of a data type, like saying it as int, float, and all those things. Why you are not declare that variable? In VB script, guys, it's very flexible. Okay, there is no need to declare the data types upfront. Okay, if the actual result is having the float value, right, it becomes a float data type. Okay, if actual result is a string, it becomes a string. So we'll be getting in depth for the data types and all those things. Okay, since VB script is very kind of user friendly approaches it gives, it is very flexible as well. Okay, and this is how you take the actual result by using a method called as getRO property. As I said, it's kind of very important, guys. GetRO property is very important. Whatever the code you see in any automation project, if at all you get a chance, okay,